It's all right.
We're good. They need to hear this.
I
Oh
think
boy.
I think this episode might be a little cursed, but we're gonna do it anyway. But I do still want to bring it up again because
Mhm.
it was good. Hi for anybody listening. We actually had to re-record a little bit because
Yes.
tech issues, and it's okay if you know that because we're human and shit happens.
Sometimes you just try to record and what you record doesn't get recorded and you just need to re-record it.
Yeah, and it's a little stinky, but we all know what card captor Sakura is. And I was telling Raymond earlier that I feel like a fake fan because I did not realize that there were like 30 something cloud cards that got added to the anime.
Hmm.
Manga, there were only like 15 or something because I didn't read the manga as much as I consumed the anime as a kid because I was just watching it on Kids WB every Saturday.
Hmm. Wait, was this a very recent discovery?
This was literally a discovery like 2 days ago.
Oh wow! Oh snap! I
Yeah.
didn't realize
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I was like deep diving into the cloud cards a little bit just for research because Card Captor Sakura is the inspiration for my indie pilot that just recently released called the Three Tomes.
Yay!
Yippee!
Yay!
Yippee! 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 Yippee!
Three tomes.
Yeah. But we only deal with one of them in the pilot because I don't have
What?
time like that.
A
I need $1 billion if you want to see the other two.
bajillion dollars. Yep, that sounds
Yep.
about right, actually. Production costs,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Uh-huh. I need about $1 billion. But yeah, the Three Tomes indie animation animatic pilot. But before that, I'm Bree, and this is
Oh,
Waymond.
hey, and I'm Way, and welcome to the Keeping You Animated podcast.
We're both professionals in that work in the animation industry. I'm a storyboard revisionist at Disney TV Animation.
And I'm a director at Wild Canary.
But yeah, like for people who are new, like Waymond and I used to host the Black and Animated podcast, and we both were the founders of that organization. We're no longer part of it now, but we started off as a podcast, and we just kind of wanted to, as time went on, we both kind of miss talking about like creative things as Black people that sort of like just kind of kept us going because like in the old BNA podcast we had a section called keeping you animated, and it was just kind of like the segment that we ended on because it was just interviews or us just talking about like media related to Black culture. Now with this podcast, the whole point is to do a similar thing, but just primarily that section about like as Black artists, as Black creatives, what media or like just creative like arts type things are we into or consuming or creating that is like kind of keeping us motivated, especially during this really icky time
Yeah,
of
in the
fascism infesting
yeah.
the country.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting that BNA kind of was popping during another really icky
This
time.
is so yeah.
I don't know. I guess talking
The
about the arts is just how we deal with the
how
pain, I
we cope is just
suppose.
talking about art.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yep, yep. So I mean, with that, hey Bree, what would you say is keeping you animated?
The main thing that's been keeping me animated for like what, it's been about a month now, I guess, because it released on the 24th of October. So I think by the time this comes out, it'll have been either exactly a month or a little bit over a month. My indie animation animatic pilot that recently released called The Three Tomes, that's what's been keeping me animated. And
Ooh, yes.
it's honestly been keeping me animated for about a year and a half because that's how long production was for it.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, like my pilot, just to sum it up, well, let me get my synopsis. Okay, so what is the Three Tomes? While making a short horror film over the summer, best friends Tammy Harris and Sia Chowdhury get more than they bargained for when witches, magic books with 13 spirits, vampires, and romance come into play. Will Tammy and Sia's friendship survive this supernatural summer? And will Tammy's romantic endeavors with two vampires be more than she can handle? Ooh.
Ooh. Oh my gosh, it's such an epic and fun indie animation animatic pilot.
Yeah, yeah, it's Twilight meets the non-racist parts, meets Cardcaptor Sakura meets 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo with a dash of Sailor Moon and Fruits Basket put into a blender, you make it black, you put it in the Midwest, early 2000s vibes, and that's what you get. Because I'm 32 years old and I'm a millennial, and my pilot takes place in the year 2011 specifically.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Because that was my senior year of high school. 2010 to 2011 was my senior year of high school, and these kids are senior year high school age. So yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah, definitely. You definitely have to check it out if any of that sounds interesting to you guys, audience. I am curious to know, like, well, one of my favorite parts of your idea is that it is led by Black femme protagonist
Yes.
in this fantasy setting, which is rare to see. And
Yeah.
I am curious to, like, know more about the inspiration behind it.
Yeah, so like Tammy's creation was kind of born out of a frustration with like the best friend, like black best friend trope
Yes.
that you see in a lot of animation. Like
Right. Yeah.
I think about Erwin, I think about Remy, I think about AJ, I think about Tucker, I think about Vince even though Vince is pretty fucking cool. I like Vince.
My brain goes to like American Dragon, Jake Long. Wait, is it Jake Long, American Dragon? We had this conversation before, but wait, what was the black girl character?
The cool black girl that like
Yeah.
yeah. She's like yo 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 my G or whatever. I think that or
Yes, that is what.
that's how Jake talks,
I mean,
right?
that is basically it. Is
That's how
yeah, it is.
everybody talks.
It is basically.
So
It's supposed to be like a very Audie's urban. It's Audie's
yeah.
urban.
Yeah. And like that isn't to say that like those characters are like bad. Well, Tucker's kind of fucking I don't know. That character's like kind of a creep if I remember correctly. Like in my memory, I remember Tucker being like a like low key a predator.
Are you talking about Tucker from Danny Phantom or
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I vaguely remember this. I you talking. I mean, even bringing up Danny Phantom makes me want to like rewatch Danny Phantom, but don't want to go far down that road because I want to talk
Yeah.
about it 3 times.
Yeah. So like, it's not that those characters like are bad per se. It's just that like it was just something that I noticed of like how there's like a weird like overcompensation with trying to. It's like we don't have like a main black character, so we have to have like the black best friend. And then we might overcompensate by like making them like the nerdy black best friend. And again, like it's not that it's bad to do that, but when I feel like you're only presenting black characters as just a side, like second to like your white main, or presenting them a certain way, like and they're all and a lot of people are following the same thing, it gets a little like old, kind of like how we have the Killmonger cut in every like video game right now for like every cool hip black guy in a video game, because everybody was like, wow, I really liked Killmonger and Black Panther, and I like those cool like side locks. I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna do it. And you just look, and it's like, pick a different fucking hairstyle. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Because it's like it was cool the first like maybe 3 times, and now I'm like, if I see that haircut again on another black man or black boy in a video game, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
What if I'm wearing a hat right now? What if I just pulled that off and revealed that I
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, Brie. I couldn't help it. It's so cool.
Like it's like, again, it's cool that like we're seeing black characters with locks, but it's also like, okay, there are other things we can do, right? There's other things we can do. But anyway, yeah, like Tammy just kind of started off like as a doodle of a black girl and a tomboy white girl in a sketchbook, and I just posted it on Instagram, and I was like, which one do you think is the main character? And that was it, and I didn't think about it. It was literally just a doodle that I was like, when I had like the kind of frustrated like passing thought, and I was like, curious, and then I just did that. But also too, like this whole idea, like as I developed it further, was born out of a love for like the YA genre, like as we talked about earlier, because like black kids, black teens, like all that like YA stuff, like we weren't really in it, or if we were, it was like a side, or like we died. Like I think about Rue in the Hunger Games.
Disposable black character, is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also too, like if there is like a black character who is like a romantic partner, they usually fall into like that disposable black girlfriend or disposable black
That's
partner trope. So like you have Valerie, you have
Valerie from Danny Phantom.
Valerie from Danny Phantom. You have a homegirl from Invincible. Although that was an unfortunate circumstance of like they wanted to like diversify the cast, but I suppose there wasn't enough thought in the room maybe at the time to consider like you're making your like black female character like the angry black woman without realizing it, like you're falling into tropes by doing so. And I think about or Mel from Arcane, even in more recent history, because like that fandom's kind of weird about that black character. Even the writers are a little weird about her, if I'm not mistaken. Mel was with Jace, but people kind of treat her weird in fandom, and just I don't. It's a whole thing, and I think about also like in Gentry Chow. Like, unfortunately, like Gentry Chow had a disposable black girlfriend, and I'm not talking about like her Latina best friend whose name I can't remember. I'm talking about the nameless black girl that Michael, if I'm not mistaken, the black boy's name is. He dated like a black girl like right at the end of the show for like 2 seconds, and then he got with Gentry, and it's like, yeah, Gentry and Michael, like, obviously that was Endgame, but it just kind of sucked that, Gentry, unfortunately, in the year of our Lord 2024, when I think that dropped, it fell into like the disposable black girlfriend trope, and it just kind of sucked to see. Like, it left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Like, I still like the show,
Mm-hmm.
really, really great. It honestly, I was honestly scared to watch it because I saw that it had like cool magic girl and then like two boys, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to watch that because I don't
No,
want to
I
get
mean,
influenced by
I don't
anything.
think.
But it's
What do you mean? It has nothing. Yeah, there's no.
it's very different.
I don't see any commonalities.
It's very different. Well, I mean, I will say it does have a yearning black boy, sweet black boy, and it does have a, well, Kid's not white, he's Asian.
What are you talking about?
You know
There's no
what?
similarities. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. But anyway, back to it. Yeah, like the idea was born again out of the love for the YA genre when I was younger and as a teen. And I just wanted to see myself represented in that now that I'm older, and do that for like the vampire girlies, the monster boyfriend girlies. Cause like Twilight like has so many problems. Like, I like Twilight a lot, but that shit got problems. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean Jasper is a former Confederate soldier? What do you mean the indigenous boy gets called like a dog and they say he smells bad? Like, Stephanie, Stephanie, can we talk? Why you do that? Why you do that, Stephanie? I just want to know. Like, it's a little suspect, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Why you do that?
Gosh.
Like, I love that melodrama, Stephanie, but you got some explaining to do.
Look, there's a lot of issues. We all know this at this point.
Yeah, or like in Vampire Diaries. Like, I watched Vampire Diaries for the first time last week, and I screamed
Oh wow.
because so I'd never seen it, but I know that like I was very aware of it because I kind of refused watching it because I was a Twilight girly when I was younger,
Mm.
and I was like, oh, they're copying, meh, 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 meh. But no, that's not what happened. Vampire Diaries came before Twilight. So maybe Stephanie was copying Vampire
Mm-hmm.
Diaries. I don't fucking know. But anyway, I'm tangenting. Yes, the three tomes born out of a love of the YA genre, but just like the fact that there was no like YA fantasy that had like black kids going on these fantastical adventures, or, falling in love with like in romance and like being happy. And if there were, they just weren't popular to the point where like I saw them, maybe I missed them, I don't know, but we just weren't represented very well. Like, black and brown people just were not represented very well in this like sort of like YA romantasy type genre. And I was like, Miles Morales, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Now that I'm an adult and I have the, network and talent and capacity to create something like that. And it's been really, really fun just making this thing and seeing the response to it.
Mm-hmm.
But as I mentioned, it was a team effort because you directed on it.
Yeah, I did. I did
You
direct on
did.
it.
And what was the experience like for you directing an indie project and working with an indie showrunner? Me.
It was fun. Yeah, especially it was fun, especially since we're friends and we're creative partners. And yeah, I felt like it was very much a interesting experience because it kind of contrasted. Like in my day job, I also direct, and it was interesting to find the contrast between the different, even though they're both like animation projects. I mean, not just conceptually the differences, but just the way the workflow of things, like finding like, oh, like in directing on three tomes, it's a little bit more ragtag and a little bit more like scrappy, like, oh, we're doing
Mhm.
this together, and we're kind of like setting the rules of how things are working. And of course, like in a studio job, things are a little bit more solidified. There's already an idea of like, okay, this is what this show is about. I mean, I work with Minnie Mouse as a character, and like she has a legacy. She is a
Right.
legacy character.
Yeah, like we know what Minnie is about. We know what she's up to. We know what she's gonna do.
Yeah, exactly. So it creates just creating something that is more from the heart. It's just a really cool feeling of just fulfilling a creative endeavor and watching it get finalized and visualized and seeing audience reactions to it. It's really fun.
It's
And also, just gotta say thank you for bringing me on to help, make your vision possible. Because that is also like to be able to trust someone as well with your vision it can be a lot. And yeah, you trusted a lot of friends and a lot of people on this project and made friends on this project. It is really, really, really cool and also impressive to see. Like to be a creative leader is an art in and of itself, and watching you make it happen, it's extraordinary.
thanks. Well, you're extraordinary too. Like you,
Aw.
I've said it many times before, but I always feel like I'm my best creative self when I work with you, Waymond. Like
Aw.
you are my brother, you are my friend,
Oh my gosh.
you are my creative partner, and I love you so much. And
Oh, I love you too, Bree.
I'm just very blessed that like you came into my life as my friend and as somebody that I can just vibe with and create with too. Like it really means a lot. And
Mm.
I love just creating things with you. And I guess for any like indie creator out there, like I can't stress enough that like I know sometimes you kind of have to do things on your own, but if there are people in your life that, want to help you and people in your life that excel at certain things, you should let them, flex those muscles and like work with them on that, because like that's why I wanted to work with you as my director on this project, Wayman, because like yeah, like I know what vision I want to see, but I feel like there are things, during this process, I feel like there are things that you see that I don't see, and there are things that I see that you don't see. And I feel like having like those two sets of eyes to sort of like
Mm-hmm.
fill that void a little bit really, really helps create a better artistic piece, because those two pieces fit together properly. Like when we were like reviewing storyboards, right? And like dealing with like the animatic and timing, like there's stuff that I caught that like you didn't, but then there are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of like directorial choices that made things snappy and timing wise that I felt that you pointed out that made it like, sing even more,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
I think that's important to have. I really do. And also like you kind of like helping with like some of like the cleanup and some of the revisions, because kids, you need to go stretch so your shoulders don't get fucked up.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Yeah. Having a
because
lot of
I was having a lot of body pain
you're having
problems.
sports injuries
Having
from
a
drawing.
Yeah, everybody stretch and drink water, please.
Yes. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like it is so important, just generally in the creative process to have that sort of sounding board for exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
And not in the too many cooks in the kitchen sort of sense, but like just
right.
a vision that one person, or I mean, a vision that is particular that
Mhm.
we're striving for, but still allowing a sort of like critique and adjustment throughout,
Mhm.
and also knowing when it's done. That's also
Yeah.
like a part of the creative process. It's yeah, knowing when it's
Honestly,
like, you know what, it might not be exactly what I want, but that's kind of ironically a part of the creative vision, is being okay with not getting exactly what you want.
yeah, and there were a lot of things that weren't exactly what I wanted, for this pilot, actually. Like, I've gone back and rewatched certain sections, and there's, like, some color pop issues in the animation that I'm like, "Ah, I didn't notice that at first.
Mm,
I thought that I fixed that." And in my brain, I'm like, "Can I, like" oh god, like, nobody said anything, but, oh well. I guess we'll just deal with it. Listen, I was I had to figure out how to color in Clip Studio Paint, because that's what we did for the animated.
learning new skills.
Yeah, and that's also the cool thing about the indie process, is that like you end up learning new skills along the way. I feel like my boarding got a little bit stronger. Like I boarded the cold open, and you did like some cleanup on it to like help me out when I was like my arm was fucked up. And then like I boarded the sequence where Tammy is like going like power of wind, I summon you Ventus, rah, 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 rah. Like the little card captor sequence, at least the beginning of it. And then Ernesto, shout out to Ernesto, an amazing board artist, oh my god. I mean, all of our entire board team was fucking crazy. Like
Hmm.
everybody showed up and showed out. Like, whew,
Hmm.
like I can't sing the praises enough of like our design team, our board team, our animation team,
Hmm.
our editor, graphic designer, like everybody, our production team, like everybody was just so on it. And also our voice actors, like what? what? Like crazy. It is important to like have people that like it's good to have people that sort of like complete the full piece if you're able to. Because like again, like I understand that like not every indie project like has that luxury, I guess. Like some people do just do it all themselves and that's okay, you know.
Mm,
But I knew for me that I couldn't do it alone, especially because when I asked you to be my director, I was unemployed and pregnant and a little depressed because there was a lot going on in my life last year.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
but it
but
pushed
anyway,
you
yeah.
into the space of wanting to do something that could help uplift not
Yes.
only yourself but like friends that have been also in different spheres of bad vibes in the animation
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah, because like it was just it's just really bad. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. And I think we said it before, guys, that like the industry is kind of doo doo right now. And it was doo doo last year too. And again, like I knew that I couldn't do this alone because the scope of my project, like I'd written it out. And mind you, I wrote this script in 2023. Um, and I had gone through about like 8 drafts, and I think I finished the final draft at the tail end of 2023 or either very early, like January 2024. It was probably tail end of 2023 when I finished the final draft because like I went through like 10 drafts of it because I was just like something isn't clicking in those first 8, and then by the ninth draft I was like, oh, okay. And then like the 10th draft was like some extra refinement. But
Was this also a draft that was made for like a animation writing class?
yes. So I took Patricia Violetto's writing class. She had a course through the Ruby LA comedy club that I don't know if it's still around anymore, actually.
Yeah, I think
Um,
she just does the class on her own, like kind of indie style, right?
yeah,
Now.
she just does the class on her own. And she had like an intro to animation writing class, and then a pitched a pilot class, and I took them both because they're
Oh,
kind of like companion pieces.
okay.
Shout out to our friend Val, who like told me about Patricia's class,
Mm.
and I'm really grateful to Patricia because like her class really helped me like get better at like understanding writing because I took it initially because I wanted to understand like the writing process better in order to help storytelling for my storyboards because if you know story, that makes you a better board artist, you know? So that was why I took it initially, and then I took a concept by the end of it for like the pitch class. I took a concept that I originally created for Benjuuno's CDA storyboard class like back in 2020, which was that very old board that you saw, Wayman, like a while ago, about
Mm-hmm.
like two friends. Again, they didn't have names. This was like Proto, Sia, and Tammy in a graveyard just summoning some ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like the second and this was like still in the process of me like I don't know who these characters are, but I keep drawing them and they're just like little doodles, little OCs that are just in my sketchbook that I draw on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like after taking Patricia's class, like I refined it more and like I made a pitch document and wrote a outline and a very first like rough like draft of the script. And then several months later, Indie Animation Pitch Night happened, which is run by the Animation Appreciation Hub group, which is like an online group run by our friends Chris Wade and Offbeat Kiki. And they put this together where people just could like showcase like their indie projects. And I was convinced by our other two friends, Tuner Tariq and D'Angelo Edwards, Hats Off Media, who are content creators on YouTube, to pitch the three tomes because they had ideas that they wanted to pitch as well, Screen Time and Hey. And I was like kind of waffling. I was like, I don't know if I want to pitch this. I don't know. Maybe. But I did it. And then, people really liked the idea. They were like, oh, this sounds really cute and cool. I like vampires. And then again, like I just kind of left it alone, didn't really do anything about it. But then, like, fast forward to 2024, unemployed, pregnant, and a little depressed. And then I hit you up and I'm like, you know what, Waymond? You want to just make something? Let's just make something, you know?
Yeah.
And again, like I tended it really hard, sorry. And again, like the industry is just like really bad at this time. And I wanted to make sure I gathered people that knew how to do certain things because the script has like action in it, it's got drama, it's got comedy, and I'm more of a dramedy type of board artist, less so an action person, even though I want to get better at it. So and I'm not good at design. Like that's not me. I just does for the designers to do. Mad respect to design people. So yeah, I just wanted to gather folks that I knew were potentially free, people I would have liked I like to work with, people who are friends, and people who were unemployed or were still trying to break into the industry that I was close with, just to kind of like give people the ability to either flex a creative muscle that they really wanted to do, or just to like make something outside of their 9 to 5, or to make something when they hadn't been working for like months or almost like a year or two because it was so bad. And that's kind of the vibe for our crew, really. A mix of people who were professionals just starting to break in, or or like ready to break in, and it's all people I trusted, people who were friends, people who were like recommendations from a friend that they trusted, so they felt comfortable bringing them on. Yeah, it was just a bunch of people that just wanted to make something, and now here we are. I just really wanted to give people the chance to feel something creative, I guess. When
Hmm.
and everyone that I talked to in our crew, they said that like I've gotten responses from some people on our crew that were like, "Man, I wish I could just be working on this and not my regular job." Or people that are like, "Damn, this is such a fun idea. Like I wanna keep making this. Like when's the next one?" you know?
Yeah. So when's the next one, Bree? What's going on?
I cannot I
So when that Kickstarter though, where that Indiegogo campaign?
I
Hold on,
mean
what's going on?
I mean, that's not out of the cards. I am going to do my damnedest to make more,
Hmm.
and I would love it if you were along that journey with me, Waymond.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I cannot give you a promise for a date, but because I definitely need a break. I say as I still have been like promoting the damn thing really hard, because something I
Hmm.
realized as an indie creator, you kind of have to like market the hell out of the thing that you're making. You can't just post and go.
Yeah. Yep.
Es- Especially if you have a very tiny following, which I do. Like, yes, I work in the industry professionally, but I don't have like a bajillion followers from like, I don't know, years of fandom built up or something like that.
It has been incredible to see all the work that everybody's put into three tomes, and it really is inspirational and has made me want to revisit and like just revitalize the ideas that I have,
Like Pyro Pup.
like Pyropup, which
Everybody
is
watch
this.
Pyro Pup when it drops. It's the best thing ever. It's the best thing
Thank you.
ever. It is the best thing ever.
Pirate Pup is currently the animated short that I'm working on, and I think I just thank you for that inspiration, because it has. I won't go super deep into it because it's still something I'm working on, but
It's really good though, guys. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now.
thank you. But yeah, and it is also just really cool to see all the other work that has been popping up in the indie animation scene. It's something that like I feel like the for a long time the indie animation space really felt like it favored just shorts, standalone shorts, or maybe like just short series, or just web cartoons even.
Mhm.
And I think it has been expanding more into, okay, what would as a creator want to create for a broadcast type show, and we've been seeing that a lot more, and a lot more of like indie animated broadcast type shows being created and going to broadcast and stuff like that.
Yeah. Is it really indie at that
One, I was about to say,
point?
one argues, does that become indie?
Yeah, like
Whether or not the indie, I mean, I don't want to dive super deep into that, the concept of that maybe, but yeah, it's just really cool to see the amount of indie stuff that has been popping up, and I think it does correlates to how the animation industry has been feeling as a whole, where it just feels like things aren't being greenlit, or there's a bit of a helplessness in terms of like, okay, what do the new tools that are being made by tech companies mean for the future of animation?
right. All the AI
And
bullshit.
yeah, I was kind of being vague, but yeah, exactly that. And yeah, just I think that has propelled a lot of creators to take a stance of like, no, you know what, I am a creator, inventor, and innovator. Anyone know those song lyrics? But yeah, just being a creator and creating something. And yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, and the indie space is so interesting to me because it is like half really cool and uplifting and also half very dramatic.
Oh, like the drama, like political, not political, but like social drama
Yeah,
in the space.
like intersocial drama. I'm not gonna get into it. I just all I say is that like I think people need to understand that like there is a thing, the concept of two cakes is okay. Like we
Oh
can
yeah.
Like it's okay to have two cakes, but
What's
it's
the
all
word? I'm thinking of it too. Like there's this word. Man, it's I keep thinking of it as lost, but it's kind of like I don't think the term is parallel thinking, but it's like the idea that like, hey, you know what, the a lot of people are experiencing a lot of the stuff that happens in the world at the same time. So when they go down to create something and or are inspired by something that is in the world that is happening in the world with them at the same time, they might come up with similar ideas. I think that's
yeah,
parallel thinking is something like that. But yeah, like, and then it becomes where like, oh, there are very similar shows or films or
yeah.
games or ideas that are being presented out, and like Bree's saying, it's okay, there could be more than one cake.
Yeah, 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 and, like, to be fair, like, I mean, I'm a little guilty of being like, "Well, that feels a little similar to da 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 da," or me worrying about something feeling similar, like, of my own thing, but even then, I try to, like, temper myself a little bit after I have, like, a mini freak out, obviously, because I'm human. Also, not just 2 cakes, but also, like, just treating people with respect.
Oh,
Sometimes I have noticed some indie community stuff where people are not treating each other appropriately, and I'm just like, "Y'all, this is not our 9 to 5, like, chill. Everybody chill."
is it, I mean, I don't know the exact situations, but does it feel like that is more like internet culture, like internet social culture stuff, or does it feel like it is very specific to being in the indie animation sphere?
It could just be internet stuff. I don't know. It
Because you know,
almost
some
could.
like some people grew up with the internet, and that being one of the main things that they know in terms of like socialization and not understanding the difficulty of what you're coming off as when you're virtual.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's a mix of that, and I think also just like being kind because like without like again getting too deep into it, I will just say that like you hear from us as professionals that like animation is small. We all talk. We all know like if people are being jerks, it's like you can be the most talented person ever, but if you're a jerk, nobody wants to work with you. And I highly would recommend that some people do kind of need to check themselves in indie as well, especially since like a lot of indie people are young, and like I don't mean to sound like a mima right now, but like there are a lot of young people that are doing indie, whether they're like 20 or like 16 even. Like I think I saw like a 15-year-old is making a show, which like power to them. Like I think it's super cool that like young like teenagers are out here making
The youth.
the youths are out here like making stuff, because like
Hmm.
there's just so much you have so much access to like free programs. Even like you don't have to have like expensive programs to make your stuff, like as long as like you utilize the tools properly you can make whatever, and like there's access to
Hmm.
tutorials and everything. It's so cool. But like
Yeah.
I just think that, and again, it's not everybody. I just see it from time to time, and I just kind of am a little taken aback by like there's a little bit of toxicity I've seen in the indie animation space, and some people do need to check themselves, because it's like if you are trying to do this professionally too, like that's it's not a good look. You need to
Hmm.
like calm down, calm down. It's not that deep. It's just
Hmm.
cartoons. It's not that deep,
Yep.
and that's all I'm gonna say on that matter. But as far as like but as far as like the positive side of it, though, especially like Black indie creators, I've found that like a lot of Black indie creators like we're uplifting each other in general, like just trying to make sure that we're all being seen. Because like I think about how like at Lightbox I got to meet up with several Black indie creators, and it was just like really nice, very very uplifting. And but in general, like the indie community on the positive side of things, it's just like we're all just little guys trying to make our little guys and share our little guys with everybody, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's really sweet and wonderful that so many people support each other, share each other's shows or ideas. Like, when people put stuff out, people create like little like indie showcases to try to show off each other's projects. People share resources. Like there are like some indie hubs run by folks to try to like help people out with resources and things like that. And I think that's just so it's really wonderful. And yeah, like
Hmm.
you said, it's kind of like a testament to how like a lot of people just kind of want to make the I don't want to say content. That sounds like very dry.
The art.
People people want to make the type of media or art that they wish they could see,
Yeah.
but Hollywood is just not doing that. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Indie animation is it's interesting. It's really interesting,
Hmm.
and I really like it. It is not the future unless you can give me benefits. It is not the future.
Dang.
And listen,
Dang.
again, Imma be Meemaw a little bit and just say that I
Dang.
don't think it is this, like, savior of the animation
Is
industry.
that what people are saying?
Well, yeah, that you're very offline, Waymond, and, like, you're so lucky. Yeah, yeah,
Look,
yeah.
I'm if you're Mima, I'm Peepaw in the sense that I'm not paying attention. I'm like, I'm drawing over here. Oh, did somebody say something on the interwebs? I
Yeah.
just
There is a sentiment that is very that I think is sweet and very hopeful that indie animation is, like, the future of the animation industry, and I don't fully agree. I think that because there's a lot of, like, young bloods online that are like, just go indie, just go indie, just go indie," and it's like, not all of us have the ability to do that. I was
Mhm,
very blessed in the fact that I had the time
mhm.
and I
Yeah,
had
things lined up very well serendipitously. Like
yeah,
you had the time and you had the ability to like, pay living expenses like enough
yeah.
to have living expenses be paid for and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um
and I also had, like, a network of people that supported me, and I didn't do it
mhm.
all alone, and not everybody has that luxury,
Yeah.
and that should be acknowledged that, like, we can't all just, pencils down our Disney or WB jobs and just make our shit, you know? As
Yeah.
much as we want to,
Mhm.
as much as a lot of us want to, not everybody can do that, you know? And Indie's not gonna give me health insurance. I mean, at Glitch, they give you health insurance, which is pretty cool. But also, like, Glitch is my understanding of Glitch is that, like, they're really cool, like, I really respect what they're doing, I really think it's awesome. But my understanding of Glitch, for those of us that are not in Australia, who are, like, US citizens that are working for them, like, the pay is kinda below the union rate. It is non-union work. That is not to say that, like, they're, like, abusing people or anything as far as, like, work conditions go, but it's more so, like, just to say that it's not union rate, and if you're living in LA, that might not be feasible. Like, I don't think, like, for me, like, if I got a job at Glitch, I don't think, based on what my understanding of, like, how their pay works, is that, like, I don't think I'd be able to, like, support my family fully off of, like, Glitch storyboard revisionist pay, you know?
Yeah.
And again, like, that's not to knock them. That is not to knock them. What they're doing is really fucking cool. It's just that, like, everybody's financial circumstances are different,
Mhm.
because they pay really well, but, like, that pay well may not be good enough for, like, if you've got, like, 2 kids, you know?
Yeah, right. And then also not everybody has the entrepreneurial ship side of them to start an indie animation studio
Right,
as
right.
well.
That's another thing that a lot of
Um,
people say online, like, "Yeah, just make your own studio," and it's like, there's a lot
oh
that
yeah, let
goes
me just go to the kitchen and go in the fridge and put out a glass of animation studio that I can easily pour in a cup because it's just so easy to make an animation studio.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that, but I think what indie is, while it is not necessarily, like, the savior of the animation industry, because capitalism is gonna capitalism, unfortunately, I think that indie animation is something that these studios are watching very closely, mainly probably because of Vivian Madrano doing her thing over there with Has Been Hotel and, Hell of a Boss, sorry, I forgot the name of it for a second. And also watching, what Dana is doing, being
Knights of Guinevere and
yeah, Knights of
stuff.
Guinevere, being, a former, Disney employee, now doing an indie production with Glitch. I think, like, these studios are, like, watching all of that and are trying to realizing that, like, this indie, like, kind of wave that's happening is kind of create people are creating the things that maybe they should have been making instead of,
Mhm.
like, being like, "Oh, we don't want that." At least that's what I feel like, and I think that indie is just giving the people that have the ability to an opportunity to make what they want to make without having to be bound by a studio, like, 5-year development cycle, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and I
like
think it's also kind of it feels like it's similar, or I feel like there are correlations in the 80s and 90s when it comes to the trying to find new talent and ideas in
yeah,
terms of like TV animation and feature film, where it's like okay, it felt like there was a bit of a Wild West and like more a plentiful, not plentiful is not the word, but just more ready to take in different creators' ideas. And now there's a bit of a safety sort of, not the word I'm thinking of is defensive, like being more defensive when it comes to like, okay, what do we want to create as a studio? And I feel like the indie animation boom that is happening, it's definitely a response to like, okay, this is we're not seeing a lot of what we would like to
yeah,
see in
right.
a more broadcasty sort of TV cartoon.
Yeah, and the thing though that like only really concerns me about it is just that like I hope that like a lot of like the young people that are out here making their stuff like
The youth.
the youths don't, especially if like people are making like Kickstarters asking for like 50K or like 100K, because like you people are asking for a lot of money to like in order to make stuff, and because like
Mm-hmm.
well, like honestly, like you probably need more than like 100K or like 50K to make like an episode of a show if you're trying to do it like like fully professional, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to like pay like proper union wages. Like you need way more than that. But like I was saying, like I'm just worried about like you got all this money and it's like I hope you're allocating it properly, because like it's a lot to handle. Like if you're really young, you know, trying to make something, like you know, and
Mm-hmm.
not everybody, like you said, like the entrepreneurship, like being financially savvy to like allocate funds, deal with taxes, because like that money's gonna get taxed, things like that, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just it's like a you really, especially if you're doing indie animation and you're doing Kickstarters and like Indiegos, whatever, you really got to be like on it with like money handling. And sometimes I just wonder, like, especially for like the younger folks, I'm like, oh, I hope somebody's helping them. I hope somebody's helping them. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you guys gotta live and learn.
Live and learn. Yeah, yeah,
Let's hang on the edge tomorrow. Live and learn. two
yeah.
2 hours later.
Oh my gosh. But
Oh my gosh.
and Glitch is doing a really cool and interesting thing. Did you hear about like how they have like I forget what the program. I think it's like a glitch creator program or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, where like you can pitch to them and then they might bring your idea into the folds of the glitch
Oh, that's
productions.
cool.
Yeah. I think that's really neat, but I also worry again. I'm just like, are people just gonna make a bunch of pilots just to like throw them like? I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I mean,
maybe.
I can't worry about other people are
I
doing
feel
it.
like, I mean, that's just. I also think. I mean, I don't know. I feel like technically a animation studio can do that just in general, like a smaller animation studio like that. That sounds. I guess if Glitch seems like they're more open to getting those pitches.
Yeah, and I mean that's
Okay.
something that happens internally at bigger studios anyway, too, right?
Yeah, yeah. I guess that's what I mean too. Like it happens internally, bigger and smaller studios, and
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's just very interesting. Indie animation truly is like a wild west right now. And I mean it has been for a while, but like it's still. I just
yeah.
think people don't really know what to do with it, or
Hmm.
in studios I think don't know how to approach it, so they're just, I think studios are just watching to see what happens. And I think for those of us who are professionals that just want to make stuff, it's just our avenue to do that thing to the best of our ability. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Indie animation's neat. It's neat. It has, I just think it's really cool that a lot of people are making their stuff, you know.
yeah. Agreed. S-
Agreed.
Speaking of
speaking of
animation,
Speaking of
uh,
animation, what do
so
you yeah, speaking of
no, please,
animation.
you speak.
No. I was gonna say, speaking of animation, what do you got going on in your animated life, Waymond?
Oh my gosh, you mean what's keeping me animated? That's so crazy to ask.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's keeping me animated? So we talked about this a little bit, and I mean, I feel like I have there's several things that's kind of just been keeping me creatively going the past month or so.
Pyro Pup.
Pirate Pup is definitely one of those things. I mean, just I think the the things that I'm going to talk about has been keeping me animated to work on Pyro Pup, because going on a creative endeavor can be uplifting, but it could also be draining.
It definitely can.
So one of those things, and you brought this up a little bit, was going to Lightbox Expo.
Yeah.
I just want to highlight that because it was one of those events that I was very much honestly not looking forward to,
Oh.
because it can be. I mean, it's basically an animation career fair,
Mhm.
and career fairs just give me not the heebie-jeebies,
Mm.
but I guess the heebie-jeebies. They just make me feel sad.
Oh.
Like, I mean, my memory of, and I think it's mostly because a lot of my experience of career fairs is it being jam packed with a lot of creatives and animation folks all trying to get
Mhm.
jobs, and
Yeah.
nobody really having any jobs to give.
I mean,
And
that's basically what happened this time
and
too.
that's exactly what happened this time. Of
'Cause
course,
there
yes,
are
because that
no
is,
jobs.
and that's just what, especially in the last like several years, that's just how it's been.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, oh, just it just makes me sad, and I just knowing the what the animation industry, where we're at right now, I was like, I don't want to just go to a sad fest. But I ended up going because I was like, you know what, like, yeah, I'll just like walk around outside and like
Mhm.
catch up with Bree. Like Bree's gonna be there, maybe catch up with some other people. And doing that, I had such a great time. Like I think what I feared in like people just be what I feared in people being sad because the animation industry isn't in a great space, and like not going to a career fair where not a lot of the companies will have jobs to offer, just concentrating more on catching up with people and like finding kinship with new friends, and circling around the word networking because networking is a part of why like career fairs have that like weird ick to me,
Yeah.
but technically it is networking. But just going in and just reconnecting with the peers, our peers in animation, and find like talking with new folks that come trying to come in animation or creating things on their own. It was really uplifting. It was really uplifting,
Mhm.
surprisingly uplifting.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
just don't want to discredit like I guess I like as people, anybody that is in the animation industry or sees what's been happening in animation might have similar feelings that I've had. But I just want to be like, you know what, encourage like, hey, if you if you're at the next animation event or even networking event that comes up and you're like, I don't know, like maybe go to it because you might have a better time than you expect.
and go for at least one day if you can't go all days because Lightbox was a little too expensive this year for
It was
especially
just
because
very
everybody was
expensive.
because especially because a lot of people are fucking broke.
It's insane. That's also a part of why I'm like, you spend so much money, especially when you're trying to look for a job,
Yeah.
to in the hopes of finding work, and only to be potentially just turned away or put on a list that's not going to be ever looked at again.
Yeah.
And just be in a hot space and just tired, hot, and going in jobless and leaving jobless. Which, yeah, it doesn't sound fun. It doesn't sound great. But I think the other half of it too is like, especially like the artist alley, and like
Yeah.
finding new artists and connecting with those artists, and
Mhm. Mhm.
like that aspect of it, I think, is really really important and cool, and still doesn't need to be a super expensive price ticket. But that's just the nature of the beast, I guess. Yeah, so that's one of the things that's keeping me animated. The other thing is I've been reading this book about joke writing, which has been really
Ooh.
interesting. It's called Joke Farming,
Ooh.
by Elliot Kalin.
Okay.
And Elliot is a comedy writer, wrote for The Daily Show with Jon Stewart
Oh,
years
cool.
back, and has his own podcast. If you're a podcast listener, you might even just recognize the name from me saying it.
Mhm.
The Flophouse podcast, and
Oh
yeah,
yeah. I've
recently
heard
came
of
out.
Flophouse. I've heard of them.
Yeah. So he recently came out with the book Joke Farming, and it's been a really interesting read, and just a guide for at least how he like creates and makes jokes and joke writing in different aspects too. Like for he goes over like joke writing in general, and then goes into specifics like, okay, show for TV shows, okay,
Mhm.
joke writing for other people's voices, like how he did for Jon Stewart, joke writing for
Mm.
yourself, like if you want to go into stand up, and different things like that. So I found that I have been finding, as I'm still reading it, very cool and a really nice read. And
I'd
yeah,
imagine that would help with your, something like that would help with your skills as a board artist, making those comedy sensibilities like way stronger, you know?
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to. It's like what you were saying too, with when you brought up taking a writing class to help with boarding as well. I'm like, you
Mhm.
kind of, it's important to know writing, or at least storytelling in general. But writing is a good skill to understand. Like, you don't have to be a master of it to go into storyboarding, but it's still important.
Yeah. What was the book
um,
title called again? Because
it's
I
called Joke Farming.
Joke
Joke
farming.
Farming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, joke farming.
Hmm.
I will definitely be sure to check that out and probably get wonder if they might have it at the library, maybe.
Maybe. Actually, yeah. It might. It's out. It released
Oh, it's new.
Yeah, it's really new. It released
Okay.
November 12th.
Okay.
So as of this month's record,
Mhm.
it's
Okay.
generally new. So maybe they'll have it at the library soon. You might have to request it. Which you can request books. Hey, just let you know, you can request books at your local library if you didn't know that. But yeah, Yeah. And third thing, I,
Yes.
I I feel like I don't even want to talk about this because it's just me go like, okay, I've kind of been a little obsessed with a film lately,
Mm-hmm.
which if you've listened to the podcast before, you know that I'll generally only watch a film once. If I
Yes.
really like it, it's still just gonna get one time viewing. If I love it, I'll watch it more than once. Like I really have to love it to
Yeah.
watch it more than once. And I don't know why, but like there's this film that's really like hit the part of my brain. I think it's similar to the Leo situation in the Leo episode. But I'm like, this film isn't good, but it's hitting my a part of my brain where it's saying that it's probably the best film ever made. It's not the best film ever made.
It's just hitting the stimmy just right, apparently.
Exactly. And it's this film from 2022 called The Amazing Maurice. Have you heard this? Have you heard of this
No.
film?
What is that?
So it's this film that is man, I forget who the director is, but it's based off of a Terry Pratchett novel, and the original novel is called The Amazing Maurice and His Intelligent Rodents, if I'm not mistaken. And it's basically a twist on the Pied Piper fable where this cat called the Amazing Maurice, I mean he's just called Maurice, but the Amazing Maurice is the leader of this gang of rats, and they
Is this animated?
yes, it is
Okay.
animated by the way, and they go around and kind of like scamming villages in this like it's a fantasy medieval sort of setting, and they come across this town where evil rat is kind of taking over the town. And I mean, I guess I'm going vaguely into it because there are some twists and turns or whatever, but I don't know, I watched it twice which is unheard of for me, so it's kind of just gone into my pantheon of, oh, I love this film, and right now I don't know why I love this film, but I've watched it twice, and I just had to tell you specifically about it. And I guess you, by proxy, audience, because I was like, how did this happen? Why did I watch this film twice?
Is it like the art? Is it because it's a cat? Like
Here's
it's
the
tickling
thing.
your brain?
There's certain aspects of it that definitely tickled my brain. Like a lot of the scene work, I was like, ooh, these camera choices and oh, the camera moves. I'm like, this is great. This is awesome. I actually really
Is it just like low vibrations?
it's so funny because I hate the character design for the main character, like the cat. I'm like, I hate this character
wait,
design
then
so
why are
much.
you watching?
But I love this movie so much. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I like the rat designs. Like they're these rat characters. I'm like, okay, these characters are fun. And literally, I've been like, I don't like the framing, the story, the framing device for the story. I wish this was not here. And yet, I've watched it more than once. Again,
Why?
I'm trying to figure it out myself. Hey, listeners, go watch The Amazing Maurice and tell me why I liked it.
Should they? Because like you're not. I feel like you're not really selling it because you're like, oh,
You know what?
movie's
Sometimes, so I
goofy.
think so. It's not a terrible film. It's just not because I don't know. I feel like part of me is like, okay, this isn't a gangbusters like blockbuster film like K-pop Demon Hunters. Like I like in my head, I'm like, you know, like as I think about it too, I feel like part of me craves a bit of like a
Silly? You want
exactly. I
silly?
just want something that's silly. Like I'm thinking like, oh, Ice Age, and like if you were an animation nerd that likes Ice Age or like Open Season, like you're probably gonna like this film. It's silly, it's comedic, it's it's
Sort
kind
of.
of that level of film, and I'm like, maybe I'm missing that because it feels like every film that comes out is trying to be like, oh yeah, Oscars, let's go. And I think I'm just missing like, I just want to watch an animated film that's silly
It's like the
sometimes.
you just miss like the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, like
Like
every
the turn your brain off like dumb animated film.
yeah, because it feels like, yeah, like I think like even in this moment, I think like, okay, Ratatouille came from Pixar. That's kind of a dumb film. It's a dumb concept. It's like,
But
what?
it's like really deep though.
It's yeah, sure. Like all these other animated films have their deep moments. Like I feel like there is a level of film that like Ratatouille is not going super deep. It's kind of silly. It has deep moments, but it's not a deep film.
Mm.
And I think maybe that's something that I'm like craving in this moment where it's just like, oh, I just need something that's like not trying to be God level. And not even because I don't want to say low hanging fruit either.
Like the Adam Sandler. movie?
Like that, and I'm because
What was
I'm
that?
like comparing Leo.
Leo. There
Like
you
I'm
go.
comparing it in my mind to Leo's War. It was just like, okay, this isn't like a film that I would be expecting to be like the most praised or the most amazing or whatever. But I
Yeah.
really liked it for what it was doing.
I mean,
And
we're gonna get that because isn't there like a new Nut Job coming out like
oh
next
my
year?
gosh, give me that! I'm craving that. Give
Yeah,
me a nut job. Give me a wacky animal film.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that like a Nut Job 4 got announced,
Oh my
and
gosh, too many nut jobs. Actually, roll it back. Four. What are we doing?
or
Oh yeah, I don't
wait,
know. I guess that's just where my headspace is with the Amazing Maurice, which is why a part of me is like, should I even talk about this because I feel
wait,
kind of
is
like
it?
dumb.
Hold on. I don't want to lie. Is there going to be a new Nut Job? Hold
I
on.
would not be surprised. I mean, there's been 100 like alpha and omegas, which again, that's like I mean, I
Uh,
probably wouldn't be excited to watch the sequels. I kind of felt like the sequels were kind of like mad, but just alpha and omega the OG, I'm like, okay, yeah, like even like
okay, there is not a new Nut Job. I don't know where I saw that. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up
mm.
with something else. But there is
Oh,
some
you know
new.
what? Maybe you're getting mixed up with oh my gosh, what's the name? There was another film that I recently watched that kind of reminded me of Nut Job. And wait, no, I thought Nut Job did get a hold on. Now I gotta Google because now my brain's like, I remember seeing a new Nut
I
Job
could
film.
I could have swore there was like an announcement for some weird dumb animal movie that like was a sequel and everybody was like who's asking for this? Oh no, the Nut Job 3 is in the works.
Yeah, Nut Job 3. Yep,
That's what it was. It wasn't Nut Job 4, it was Nut Job 3.
got it. Confirmed to be in the works early November 2025. Wow.
Who the fuck is asking for a new Nut Job?
Me.
Like,
Hey man, I remember watching Nut Job 1. I haven't seen Nut Job 2. I don't know if they did it again.
I didn't
Well.
I used to think that Nut Job and Open Season were like the same thing because like
Oh.
they both look bad and I didn't and they like just combined in my brain.
But it is a good film. I guess I'm cautious because I feel like if I say this is a good film and people go in it's like this is kind of mid, I'm like, okay, I can see why someone would think it's mid. But for me, it's like, oh, this is great.
Well,
this is ice cream.
viewers, you can be the judge if you
You
want to
can
go
be the
watch.
judge.
You can if you want to go watch Wayman's mid movie. Maybe you can do that if you want, but we're not telling you to.
I'm not telling you that this is the greatest movie of all time. I'm just telling you that it's my greatest movie of right now.
Well, we should probably wrap up soon.
Yes.
I guess Nut Job 3 is some animation news.
Yeah, yo, Nut Job 3, yo, check it out when that comes out.
I guess to keep it short and sweet, one of the two big animation news things that happened recently were two new Disney films got announced.
Oh.
Uh,
Wait, what are they?
Toy
I haven't heard the
Story,
news.
Toy Story 5.
Interesting.
Yeah. Did you watch the teaser?
No, I usually avoid teasers, but I haven't even heard any of the like new films that are coming out because the only new air quotes, you can't see me doing air quotes, but air quotes film that I've heard of is Pixar's Hopper. Is it called Hopper or Hopper?
Yeah, they dropped like a full trailer well, as of recording yesterday, and it looks fun. I was worried about it being like
POC becoming an animal for the yep.
Yeah, but it seems like we're doing something a little different here.
Mm-hmm.
So I will remain cautiously optimistic with it, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
It looks kind of wild and crazy, and honestly, it might be that dumb animal movie that you want. But
it is on my list of films to watch. As soon as I saw the teaser, I was just like, you know what? I don't need to see anything else. The teaser came out like I think months ago.
Yeah, it came out a couple months ago. Yeah.
So yeah, as soon as I saw that, I just put a date on my calendar and said I'm not watching anything else because I actually usually if I want to watch something, I just try to avoid the trailers.
Right,
so, yeah.
right. So there's that, and then Toy Story 5. iPad Bad the movie. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not really excited.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yeah, like the kid like iPad, like the baby iPad. They're kind of doing that. I guess Bonnie's gonna get one, and then like they're all afraid of it. But I don't know why Woody's there. I don't know if this is like a weird mid-cool.
Woody's there?
Yeah, Woody's there, and I don't understand how. Like, I don't know if he like was like, Bo, this lost toy shit kind of ass. I want to go back. like, or my husband said like, what if it's just a new Woody? And I'm like, that'd be fucked up. Like they just bought a new Woody.
That
Dollar
was my
value.
immediate thought as well. As soon as you said that Woody's there, I was like, did they just get a new Woody?
I
Which,
don't know. That'd be kind of
so I don't think that would be possible only because, I mean, unless they do something, because Woody's supposed to be an old toy. Like he's like a
he
hand me
is.
down.
He is a hand me down.
So unless they do a thing in it where they're like, oh, they rebooted this toy line in the movie series and there's a new Woody. But yeah, the whole point of Woody is that he's an old toy, and even like in the original, he's an old toy where that like it gets air quotes replaced by Buzz Lightyear being a new toy.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I think it would be so it would be fucked up, but maybe like kind of like really weird and existential. Where like, what if it is a new Woody, right? Like it's a new
Mm-hmm.
Woody toy that maybe they got from a thrift store, and he's been there like the whole time.
Oh.
And then like the friends like Jesse and all them have to kind of deal with like, oh, it's not really you, but they keep treating him like he's the original Woody, and he's a little like put off by it because he's like, these memories that you all bring up, like I don't have them. And like he has an existential crisis of like, man, they think that I'm somebody that I'm not, but I don't know, maybe I should pretend to be that for them. And then they try, and then it's just like, oh, but it's not really him, and like, oh, maybe this is kind of messed up, like low-key, like Summer Hikaru died a little bit.
Oh my god. This Toy Story 5 AU that you're writing, what in the
Yeah.
world?
And then and the baby iPad is just there. I don't know how we're gonna work that into the story.
Wait, do they treat the iPad as a toy, or is it just still a device? I mean, again, I haven't seen the trailer.
I think they treat it like a toy because
Oh.
because remember the Mr. Spell like is
Ah,
sentient.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the Etch a
Mhm.
Sketch is also sentient. So yeah, I think they treat it like a toy,
Oh,
like
interesting.
it can come to life.
Yeah.
But again, it's only like 20 seconds. It's like a 30-second teaser. Nothing else.
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
like you don't really get much from it. And then we got Moana
Wait, the live action?
live action. Where air quotes.
Air quotes.
We're air quotes.
The silence was air quotes.
This CG comped looks kind it low key looks a little AI, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Okay. So again, I hadn't really seen this news. I saw you like post that in a thread that we're in with some friends, and
Yeah.
yeah, as soon as you posted that, I was like, is this just an AI image?
You thought it
For
was fake
I truly thought it was.
AI
I thought it was a
picture?
straight up fake. Like, oh, somebody. This is what somebody wants Moana live action to be.
No,
That's
it
what I
was
completely thought it was.
yeah, it's real, and I just don't understand the point of making these air quotes live action remakes of these animated films and making them like one to one. If
So
you
yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
if you're gonna do something, like if we have no choice but to live in the stupid ass timeline where every Disney movie or animated film is just gonna get remade into live action because people are too pussy to watch cartoons for some fucking reason. Sorry, I didn't mean to get really angry about it. I just get really annoyed because it just kind of feels like these exist, one for nostalgia purposes, and two to make it seem like cartoons is it's okay to watch a cartoon if it's like with real people, so you don't seem like you're a baby, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I've had somebody like tell me who was like a grown adult my age say like they hadn't watched the OG Moana because I said like, oh, Moana's so good, and they're like, well, I'm not gonna watch it without my kids, and I'm like, why? I watch it by myself all the damn time. Like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And I'm like, because it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a movie. Just because it's
Mm-hmm.
animated doesn't mean it's for babies. And also just like you're like oh my god, sorry, I'm gonna rant. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into
No, no, but you're right. Like I like one of the things too that gets me is specifically the trying to do the one-to-one story plot beats thing where I'm like, okay, look, if you're gonna do like a air quote live action version of the anime, like at least like tell a different story, or especially with Moana, I'm like, we're so close to having the original animated film come
it
out.
came out in 2016. Like, why are we
We're
remaking
so close
that?
to it that I'm just like, this you can't do a one-to-one. Like, do a new story with Moana. We already know the story of
We
Moana.
literally had an animated sequel last year.
Like it would be such. It feels like a dummy move to me to just do a one-to-one straight up live action. Do a new story with it. Hopefully,
Like
I mean,
it's
maybe
so
they're. I
dumb.
don't know, but it just doesn't make sense to me. But
Like
hey, you know what?
if you're gonna remake an old Disney movie like and make it animated, do fucking Atlantis or Treasure Planet. Like those two at least make sense.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
those.
come, like I that would be look. I mean, as someone that's like frustrated at seeing these like live action movies, but to see an Atlantis live action, that'd be cool. I'd be like, actually, wait, that's like that would be interesting at least.
Yeah,
Uh,
like I feel like Atlantis, and I saw somebody actually criticizing people online for being mad at the Moana live action and wanting in the same breath an Atlantis or Treasure Planet remake. And I'm just like, I feel like you can't be pissy at people for being annoyed by the Moana one, because again, the Moana, what we are seeing is it is 1-to-1, and that movie is not that old. It came out in 2016. Like, why are we remaking something that came out like only what, 10 years ago?
yeah, that's wild. That's
And we literally had its sequel last year.
hmm.
Like, I don't like, there's no reason to do it. There is no
Yeah,
reason to do that, especially if it's going to be 1-to-1. I think it is wonderful that I guess that it seems from what I'm seeing, we will be getting like more like Pacific Islander, like indigenous people like on screen. I think that's really cool and
that's
wonderful.
cool.
I
Yeah,
think that's awesome.
not against that. Is this truly literally telling the same story that we already had, just
Yeah.
redressing it? That's the part where I'm like, gosh, like, okay, maybe hopefully they don't do that. And I'm not saying like, and even with like just thinking about like the Lilo and Stitch of it all, where it's like, okay, maybe they changed some story
I
elements
didn't
and
I
blah blah.
still
I'm
haven't
like,
watched that shit, man. I refuse.
like my thing with that is like, tell a different story. Like you could have like done Lilo and Stitch, but it's just like as in the way that Disney telling their version of a fairy tale was technically like, oh, this is a version of this thing. Just make a different version, like just tell a different
Right.
story.
Like
What's
the
the idea of this this fable, quote
like
fable?
like Jungle Book, like I think really the only successful, like during this era when we started doing that, the
Hmm.
only really successful one when they were more intentional about like we're just going to do them all, I think it's just been Jungle Book. That's really been the only one that I personally feel has been successful because it has not been 1-to-1. It has been closer to the actual like book that they were trying to do with that. And I really liked the Jungle Book live action because it wasn't fucking 1-to-1. And it'd be also weird if it was 1-to-1 because that movie is goofy as fuck. But I also wish Christopher Walken wasn't fucking King Louis going "Ooby Doo, I wanna walk like you" in Christopher Walken voice. Like, that was kind of weird. That was like I think the only
What?
thing that I
Okay,
hated
wait.
in that
I
movie.
don't think. Okay, I have not seen the live action quote live action Jungle Book.
It's live action South Asian boy and a bunch of CG animals. That's what that movie is.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Maybe I have to check this out just to see
I mean, the little boy
Christopher
that's
Walken.
listen, the little boy that's Mowgli is very endearing. And like
Mm.
I did get goosebumps when I heard the Jungle Book music that plays in the beginning, when the movie started and I was just like, oh, that's the music. Ooh. So
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I just had a brain blast thought where just thinking about other Disney live actions that hasn't occurred, but you know, somehow we're skipping the line to, to Moana. My brain immediately went to Hercules.
that's next. They already confirmed it.
Wait, they confirmed it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's next in the
Oh
pipe.
no.
That's next in the pipe, bro.
Oh no, I'm psychic.
We're doing them all. We're doing them all. And you
Okay,
know
okay.
what? And you know what? I can't fucking wait for them to figure out how to spin live action Hunchback, because it's like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna do that one, guys?
Oh wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Because that movie was
Bless my
already
soul.
because that movie was already pretty divisive. How you gonna do Pocahontas? Yeah, I bet you ain't gonna touch that shit.
Look.
You better
Now
not
that
touch. You better
that
not touch
one
that one.
that one
Like
probably not gonna touch that one.
I like Hunchback and Pocahontas. I'm like, I don't know how y'all gonna do those
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
personally, because like Hunchback, even the animated one, that was it was tough. It was pretty
Yeah.
tough.
Mm-hmm.
So doing that live action, I feel like is gonna be. I feel like that'd be a hard sell in the current era. I feel like. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. And Pocahontas, I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
Oh god. Man.
But Hercules is very much next in the pipe. There's been like articles about it in the trade.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Again, I am completely like out of the loop with it, but my brain immediately went to like obviously Hercules has like for the time contemporary gospel sort of inspiration, and my brain was like, oh man, it's gonna is it just gonna be like the new new age secular gospel in the new live action Hercules. Like
Oh, it's the Russo brothers?
Russo brothers. Wait, who? I recognize the name, but I can't. It's not coming to mind what they've done. Oh, Marvel. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, I guess they're doing it, although, like, I don't know, there's some article saying that there's some, like, tension happening on set, so I don't know.
Bless my soul. Hercules on a roll.
What do you mean Wish came out 2 years ago?
Yeah, Wish came
Sorry.
out 3 years ago. What are you talking about?
No, sorry, I just
Was
well,
Wish 2023? It feels like a 22 movie.
no, it was 2023 because Jed and I were in Japan on our honeymoon when it came out.
Oh,
'Cause I
okay. Okay.
remember
Timestamp. Okay.
Yeah, because I remember being in Harajuku with him, and, like, we heard the Japanese version of "So I Make This Wish" playing over, like, the intercom in the Harajuku, like, square area. Like, well, all,
Mhm.
like, these people were, like, shopping and stuff, and I was like, "I just really love this movie here, huh?"
Oh man, I feel like that's a pretty decent note to start wrapping up
Yeah, we should wrap
on,
up, sorry.
because we're starting to
Our
scroll and tangent
yeah,
real hard.
our live action remakes are stinky, but, we're in a world where they are inevitable. Just do something different with them, you know? I
Hmm.
I don't mind getting more Cruellas, even though that movie was weird. It was something
Yeah.
different.
Oh my God. Yes. Exactly. Like that's the type of thing that I'm talking about. Thank you for bringing it up. Where it's like, hey, yeah, you know what? We're not just retelling the same story. We're at least like doing something different. Like
Yeah,
it does not make sense at all with the timeline of like the original like 101 Dalmatians, and I think that's okay. I
yeah,
think that's fantastic.
it is okay to take these characters, treat them like Archie comics or superheroes, and just dump them in different scenarios. It's
Man, I'm thinking about
okay.
like Maleficent too. Like I'm sure like people have mixed the feelings on that too, but like
It was
at
different at
least it
least.
was different. Do something
Yeah,
different.
do something different. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay to be creative and do something different. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Bless my soul.
Herc was on a roll.
I
Person of the week.
don't know the lyrics.
Person of the week in every Greek opinion poll. What a
What a
thrill.
thrill.
What a thrill. In
Again,
darkness and
I
silence through
said I
the
didn't know the
night.
lyrics.
What a thrill. I give my life not for honor, but for you, snake eater.
It calls to me.
The- There,
Babado,
there,
how far it goes.
there are too many different songs happening right now. We went from Disney to Metal Gear back to Disney.
Thanks for listening to the podcast.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at Keeping You Animated.
And listen for more episodes by going to keepingyouanimated.podbean.com, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are of the respective individual and do not reflect the views of our employers.
Thanks, guys.
Until next time.
This episode was edited by Man Lightfoot. Our producer is Jordan Hackman, with music by Ergo Funk.